there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today is Saturday, and for today's video I have a couple of thrift flips for you guys. Both of these projects were things that I've had sitting in my stash for a very long time, but in an effort to use up more of my bits and pieces of transfer sets, I decided to pull them out, give them makeovers, and get some of those transfer sets used up. So I think they turned out really well. I hope you guys like them too. And without further ado, let's get to today's projects. For my first project, I grabbed out this little shelf. Now, this thing has been sitting around in my kitchen for months and months now, you guys. And in all honesty, I had planned on putting it in my sidewalk sale that's coming up to just get rid of it. I didn't really have a vision for it. It was one of those things that my husband picked that I went ahead and purchased just so that he didn't accuse me of always telling him no on the things that he grabbed. And as it turns out, it was a high school craft project or shop project. It actually had the name and date that it was made on the back of it. And so I just never really had a vision for it, honestly. And then last week when I was doing those projects and trying to use up some bits of transfers, I thought this might be a good opportunity to also use up some transfers. So I decided, what the heck? And so I gave it a really good bath, wiped it down, let it dry, and then I am going in with Farm Fresh, which is this beautiful kind of bluish greenish color by DIY, one of my favorites. And I am just giving this little shelving unit 2 good coats of that Farm Fresh paint. Once my first coat of paint was dry, I noticed that there were some water rings that had bled up through the paint. So I went ahead and grabbed out my spray shellac and just sealed those in before I put on my second coat of paint. Now, as I've mentioned, DIY paint is clay-based, it's pretty thick, highly pigmented, and it is water-based. So one of the things I like to keep on hand, especially for my second coat of paint, is my water mister bottle. I like to spritz my piece a little bit, and that helps the paint glide on a little more smoothly and leave a few less brushstroke marks. Once my paint was completely dry, I went ahead and took my piece outside to give it a little bit of a sand. I'm using some 220 grit sandpaper, just going over it to smooth out any brushstroke marks and to distress it just a little bit. Now, obviously, I couldn't get my sander into all of the nooks and crannies, so I did have to do some hand sanding as well. Now for this piece, I knew I was going to be applying some transfers, and I didn't want to have to seal my piece before I put them on. So I did take this over to my sink and rinsed it really well, and then let it air dry so that all of the sanding dust was removed before I tried applying my transfers. Most of the time, this method works really well for me, and in this case, it absolutely did. The transfer set I'm using is an older one by Redesign with Prima called Lavender Bunch, and it just so happens that there were several pairs of transfers that all matched, and so I went through and picked out the ones that I wanted for each of the shelf backs and just applied those one by one. Once I was finished applying them to the first side, I went ahead and stood the little shelving unit up so that I could make sure that my heights for the second set of transfers all matched. And then I laid it back down and applied those as well. Now I also had some random little pieces, and I ended up deciding to put those up the sides of the little shelving unit just so that I could actually use up all of the little bits and pieces that I had laying around of this set. Once they were all applied, I grabbed a piece of vellum and burnished all of the transfers in, making sure that I didn't have any air bubbles or wrinkles in any of them. Finally, it was time to seal my paint, and I decided to do something a little different this go around. And instead of using clear wax, I am going in with one good even coat of Sweet Pickins top coat in matte. It's amazing how much darker the paint looks with that top coat on it when it's wet, but it will actually dry somewhere in between the dry color of the paint and the wet color of the paint. Once I'm finished with my top coat, my little shelving unit will be done. And this is one of those cases, I think, where it's just really amazing what a coat of paint can do for something. Even a high school shop project can be brought to life with the simple addition of some paint and some pretty flowers. My second project is another one that I've had for a very long time, and it had this loose board on the bottom, which is why I think it's been in my stash for so long. I tend to hesitate dragging out my little air compressor and my nail gun, but I decided now was the time to finish this up. It was a perfect opportunity to use up some more transfers. So I got that done, and then it was on to cleaning, and let me tell you, this little bread box was filthy. Not only was it dusty, it was really, really greasy and grimy, especially on the top. And I ended up having to clean it a couple times. I decided before I went over it the second time to go ahead and remove my knob though, just to kind of get it out of the way. So I did that and then re-sprayed it down with Crud Cutter just to try and get all of that grease removed. Once I had it pretty well clean, I grabbed my mister bottle and sprayed it down really well with some clean water. This is just to remove any of that Crud Cutter residue and also to give me an opportunity to clean this thing even a little bit better. Once I had it finally cleaned up really well, it was time to start painting. For this one, I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. I am going in with this beautiful green by Sweet Pickins milk paint. This one is called Pantry Door. It's kind of a light, almost minty green. And for this bread box, I decided to forego any extra bond. So I am just putting the paint alone over this bread box, hoping that I will get a little bit of chippiness and maybe a little bit of crackle. I'm really not sure at this point exactly what I'm going to end up with. This finish was a little bit slick, and I really didn't know, even as much as I had cleaned it, if I had managed to get all of the grease off of this piece, which can definitely make a difference in whether or not the milk paint is going to stick. But I guess that's one of the fun things about using the milk paint without the extra bond is that sometimes you have to give up control and just wait and see what things look like when the paint is finally dry. Now I did end up putting 2 coats of the paint on this, and then I took it outside to give it a good sanding. I ended up getting some chippiness and a little bit of crackle as well, not too terribly much, and I was really pleased with how things were coming along at this point. So I'm just going over all the big flat surfaces with my palm sander. This is 220 grit sandpaper that I'm using, and once I'm finished with that, I grabbed out a piece of 220 grit sandpaper and just went over the areas I couldn't get with the palm sander by hand. Once I was finished sanding, I did go ahead and wipe down my piece with a damp shop towel before I began arranging my transfers that I was planning to use. This is the leftovers of the cute set called Froggy Meadow Greens. So I'm just taking a moment to figure out exactly how I want them to be laid down. Once I got that figured out, I went ahead and started to apply the first transfer. Now, unfortunately, the first transfer gave me a whole lot of trouble, and I ended up having to take it back off again. It kept lifting the paint up, and even though I tried everything, even cutting it with a razor blade, nothing seemed to keep it from peeling up the paint. I don't know if it was because there was still some chippiness in the paint and it hadn't completely bonded to the piece because I didn't use the extra bond, or if there was possibly still a little bit of grease on the lid that was inhibiting the paint from being completely affixed to the piece. But at any rate, as you can see, I took it back outside, sanded that transfer completely off, and sanded the lid of this even better than I had before. Then it was on to starting over. So here I am putting on the first transfer of the second go around. And this one didn't go down perfectly either, but it definitely was a lot better than the first one. So I'm just being really careful going around the edges, taking my time. And I like to sometimes push the vellum off from underneath so that I can smooth the transfer out as I'm going along. And then I would burnish each piece in, again, just being really cognizant of any areas that might have lifted off the paint. I just kept going and applying each transfer one by one, starting with the back layers and then working my way forward from there. And again, just being really careful and slow. And if anything lifted, I just laid it back down and tried to get that portion of the transfer to adhere. Once I had all of my transfers applied, I grabbed a little bitty artist brush and some Sweet Pickins top coat, and I used it like a decoupage medium. And I went around the edges of the flowers anywhere that they had lifted even a little bit, and I brushed some of that medium underneath the transfer and then used my finger to smooth it out to help lay those transfers down and make sure that all of my edges were nice and sealed. This was definitely a time-consuming process, but I felt like it was necessary to ensure the longevity of my transfers on this piece. Once that was done and the top coat was completely dry, it was time for sealing my paint. And for this piece, I really wanted to add a little bit of depth and patina to this paint, and also hopefully shine up and maybe add a little bit of antiquing to the wood from underneath. So I decided to go with Sweet Pickins Dark Oil Wax. And as you can see, I'm just applying that with a little chip brush that I've had for ages in a thin, even coat all over the piece. Once I was finished applying the oil wax, I let my piece sit for about 15 minutes before I came back in with some dry shop towels to wipe back the excess oil wax. Now, this is a little bit of a messy procedure. I do tend to get oil wax all over my hands, and I go through quite a few of these shop towels, but you really want to make sure that you get as much of that oil wax wiped back as you possibly can. Now, as I was wiping back my piece, I realized that my patina was just a little bit more intense than I had hoped for. So I grabbed out my wax brush and used a little bit of DIY clear wax to lighten it up. So I just brushed that on over the dark oil wax, and it lightens it and clears a little bit of it up so that I can wipe it back with my shop towel. It acts almost like an eraser. I ended up going over the entire piece with a little bit of that clear wax, lightening everything up, and I was much happier with the finish once I was done. I also added a little clear wax to the bottom of the box to condition that wood and shine it up really nicely. The final step was adding a beautiful piece of hardware to the top of my box, and then it is finally done, you guys. I absolutely love the way that it came out, and I hope you guys do too. From here for today, you guys. I hope you liked my projects and I hope you enjoyed today's video. What did you think of the final result on that little corner shelf? I am really happy that I actually did something with it, and it's just a testament to what magic a coat of paint can do sometimes for something. It was just amazing. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that, you guys. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then, of course, don't forget to drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of my projects for today. Quick reminder, the paint and products you see me use can be purchased through me at my website, and that is www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. It's listed below in the description box as well. I do carry DIY paint and products, as well as Sweet Pickins milk paint and products, some Recycled Treasures decoupage papers, and of course some Redesign with Prima, so check those out there. For Wednesday's video, I have a feeling it's going to be a thrift haul. I went this morning, honestly, to a neighborhood yard sale that happens once a year. I only got to spend like an hour and a half. There were over 200 people signed up for yard sales today, you guys. There was no way I was going to see it all, but I did pick up a few things. And my husband and I are going to go on a short junk run tomorrow as well. So with any luck, I will have enough stuff to do a thrift haul for you guys on Wednesday. If not, I will try to throw something together, and I will see you back here on Wednesday. Until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend and beginning of the week. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.